Hey guys, welcome back. This is By the Horns #1 by Scout Comics, and this is a little bit of a disappointment. I got this book because I thought, wait, cool art, probably cool story, and some nice colors, so I picked it up. I'm gonna tell you all about it. Let's dive in. So it's about a girl called Elodie, if I'm saying that correctly. She's a basically a monster hunter, if you can say that. And she hates unicorns because reasons that I go into in a second. And she's basically, hunting monsters. You bring the remains of the monsters back to a village, and basically they are. She's selling the stuff, for food and for coin and whatever. And there's this guy. I don't know. I believe that's a friend of her, and he says, "Listen, we had too much of monsters for a couple of years. Maybe you should help out in the field because we really need your help." And she said, "Nah, I don't want to do that because I don't like the field, and I'm more of I'm a monster hunter. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm good at. So that's what I'm gonna do." And then this guy is getting scolded for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason, but I'm gonna show you. And because there's a history of why she is doing that, and the history of that, of the explanation, is well, maybe I can show you this first. So basically, there's a decision is going to be made, and she is getting kicked out of the village. Skipping a few pages. Let me double check. Just give me a second. So here, so she's getting kicked out, and Jesus Christ, what's with this comic? It's gonna stay here. So, well, people are being fed up that she's being defiant, and the council of whatever it is decided to banish her, and that she can come back in a year or so because she is angry because she had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend is getting killed, murdered, or whatever by a unicorn, and now she's going onto a unicorn slaying rampage through the lands. And but the town has problems, and they need her. Whatever. I mean, it feels that she is really important or something, but she isn't. And then the town council decided to banish her. I mean, isn't that a little bit harsh? I mean, if you are against it, about what you're doing, just give her a strike. Say her, listen, there's consequences if you do that again. You are getting kicked out. But no, this old guy has to give the message, and so she needs to leave. And there's some other problems I want to address, but first of all, I'm going to go through the story. This is totally unnecessary, by the way. But hey, so she is getting pissed off, and a little bit later, she and her dog goes onto a monster hunting, and there's some weird humor that I don't like. I mean, you are soup, and you are soup. You are so fraxing soup. So okay, I let that slide. I mean, I don't want to be harsh about that. And there's also this. So there's just a little bit too much light in here. Just give me a second. Is this better? It's probably better. So there's a space whale attacking her, and then later she is there sitting in a campfire, eating the whale, and then this dog is starting to talk telepathically, I believe, not entirely sure. And it seems that hey, we need to address what's going on, and she's very sad, and the dog says, "Listen, we need to do something different, and otherwise the revenge is gonna eat your it's gonna eat her inside." And the dog reveals that he was a small cub. Of they found her, they found them. I mean, the boyfriend and this protagonist, and the person that's dead is called Shintaro. He gave him a home. And it seems that this dog is also a, I don't know, a deer, some kind of mix. I'm not entirely sure. There's a lot of magical stuff going on. There's also technology in here, by the way, and he is thankful for that. So there's these two go on a revenge rampage, but they need to have a rest first. So they are entering a town. Skip a few pages again. And then they try to sell the organs of the dead whale, and he is coming across this raccoon guy, and the raccoon guy says, "Hey, we don't have anything left." And she said, "I need some information. I'm looking for unicorns." And the raccoon guy says, "Well, if you buy something, I'm gonna tell you for free what's going on." Well, it seems that there is a some kind of magician in town, and he is rallying all of the magical beings. So he orders the town members to give them magical item, potions, animals, etc. for whatever reason. And if they don't do that, they are in big trouble. They basically getting threatened. So, and she says, "Why are you telling me all this? Aren't you getting in trouble as well?" Well, it seems that there is no people coming to town. There's no items to sell. So the business is going very poor, and he hoped that she, as a monster hunter, can do something about it. And then the last shot is about two unicorns being trapped in a tower or something. That's the end of the book. This is probably the bad guy. I must say, so what's my problem with this? Well, I'm going to show you. First of all, the art is good. The art is pretty good. It's nice to look at. What I don't like is the colors. The colors is a little bit too saturated for my taste. There's a lot of, throwing every different color you can find in this comic. Also, if I see people with colors in their hair, I automatically associate it with cancel culture and crazy people. I know that's not entirely fair for people who just like have, their colors in their hair. But, we have been attacked so many times by those kind of people that it leaves a sour taste in my mouth. Just make a blonde. She's also have war paint on her face, so there is no need for more color, in my opinion. First of all, and second of all, the quality of the cover is very thin. It's not good, because when I hold the comic like this and I have my thumb here, my thumb is getting sweaty, and there was a stain, a mark here that's fortunately not there anymore. And I had to pull my my thumb a little bit off of the cover because it sticks. So, and from the backside as well. So that's not really a good sign. The problem that I have with this comic is there is not a lot of story going on. I mean, that has really pulled me in. The second is there's a lot of splash pages, and not all the splash pages are, in my opinion, necessary. Also, there's a lot of lack in dialogue when it comes to certain spaces. So, for instance, I'm going to spoil a little bit. So if you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch it for a little bit further. So here we have the splash page. Well, you can say, well, there's a narrative here. Yes, but this is the only splash page that has a normal kind of narrative in here. Then we go to this town, and then this is the only person that says anything. So you can say, well, there's a lot of visual storytelling then. Well, yes and no, and I love visual storytelling. I'm a big fan of visual storytelling because not every page has to have panels, narrative, text balloons to explain anything. But there's a lot of panels here with lack of dialogue or no dialogue at all, like this one, which is to me a little bit of a waste of narrative, if you know what I mean. Because here as a whole page with nothing. And again, it's visual storytelling. But why not add some kind of narrative that this is a council and they're going to rule against her, or they are very strict with certain kind of rules? I don't know. Just develop the lore of the town, the rules of the town, if you know what I mean. Second of all, sorry for spoiling everything. So this is splash page with text. It's cool, and then we go skip to this one. So this is on a double spread splash page. Jesus, and again, no dialogue, no narrative, and you say, "Hey, visual storytelling." Well, you could. Why? I mean, not everything has to be visual storytelling in the whole fucking book, because this book is not very thick. It's just a floppy. So the other problem that I have, speaking about splash pages, I'll come back a little bit later. I'm not a big fan of, Photoshop guys just doodling something on the art, because you can clearly see that it's been tacked on. I wish that the artist, draw the runes, and then, maybe the Photoshop guy colored it, because it doesn't look fun to me to look at. I mean, it's just been photoshopped on it. It doesn't feel like the artist did anything on this page when it comes to the runes. I mean, not the whole thing. I mean, the space whale looks cool, and the art looks cool too. Speaking of, so we have another splash page, no dialogue. Doesn't with this page it doesn't have to, but then we have this. Sorry for spoiling a lot here, but again, I warned you. This is not necessary at all, that this has to be a splash page or just a one-page spread. Just dial it in, make the word balloons a little bit bigger that people can read it. Do some other art here below or with the panels here. I don't care. Just do something different. And also, there's a lot of, how do you say, like this one. No dialogue, because here again, with the lack of dialogue, no dialogue here. You don't have to. Staring at each other, no dialogue. This here, I'm sorry, skipping. No dialogue, no dialogue. This guy, no dialogue. No dialogue. Well, this is necessary, so this is okay. But then this here, staring at each other. I mean, are you running out of text or something, or story? I mean, they're staring at each other for no reason at all, because I read the last page. There is no follow-up because about, tension or that there's a how do you say, a narrative that, is, I'm saying that wrong. There is no follow-up from here that these people need to stare at each other. So, and that was the last page. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not thrilled about the story yet. I mean, there's a sorcerer in town. She's a monster hunter. She's evil. No, not evil. She's mad, angry, and you can do a lot with that. But there's a lot of weird choices being made while creating this comic. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this comic. There's some redeeming elements, like I said, the protagonist is coolly done. She's coolly drawn. The visuals is very nice. A little bit, for my opinion, the colors are a little bit too oversaturated in certain areas. But then again, that's probably my problem. There's probably a lot of people who love this kind of stuff. And I don't know. It doesn't pull me in. I'm sorry. This book is probably not for me. It's not a bad book. It's certainly it's not a terrible book. But I don't know. There's a lack of getting sucked into the world. I mean, and then the lack of narrative here is for me a little bit disturbing, because you can expand so much. I mean, like I said, I don't mind visual storytelling, but you don't have to do it 3-4 times in a whole comic in a floppy that is probably less than 32 pages. So yeah, do not recommend. I do not recommend. Not a recommend. And it brings me to the end of the book. Well, almost 50 minutes. So let's stop. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, like the videos, share the video. See you next time. Bye.